You guys, if you want to make a lot of money in TBC without profession, gear, or level requirements, you came to the right place. One of the best memories that I have from the original TBC is me and my friends discovering that the NPCs from the Darkmoon Faire were selling a lot of good items, very good indeed. So the Darkmoon Faire starts at the midnight of the first Sunday every month, and it lasts for 7 days. I vaguely remember that camping these NPCs for a week, um, it was enough to buy the epic fly, but with today's WoW economy, the amount of gold you can make, especially early on, will be insane. So right now, I'm at the Darkmoon Faire from the Classic WoW, and it doesn't sell the items that you'll be buying in the TBC, but luckily we can go back in time and I will show you what are those items. So we are now back in time and I'm a level 70 at the Burning Crusade. And these are the two NPCs you should be focusing on. In my opinion, the Professor offers the best value items you can buy. For example, you can buy scrolls for the raiders because I think this stack with the raid buffs as well, and also the healing and mana potions. But the best items for sure aren't these. And if you look at the NPC, you know that buying motes is going to be very profitable, but the cream of the crop will be the raw gems. Especially early on, these gems will be worth a lot of money because they are very difficult to find. You can either find them by mining or find them by prospecting ores, but everyone is going to be using them, and the demand is going to be super high because the number of sockets in the TBC here is insane. And from the second NPC, Lara, you can buy leather and herbs, especially black lotus and fair lotus. This is going to make you a lot of money. So early on in the expansion, the black lotus will still be very useful because the flasks from level 60, they are still quite good, and not everyone will be able to craft the top level flasks yet. But later on, fair lotus will be your priority for sure. As you can imagine, all of these items from both NPCs in the early stages of the TBC will be in high demand and super expensive. So you'll be able to make tons of gold with this. Buying an epic mount will probably be a day's worth of camping these NPCs. Now that we've seen what the items these NPCs offer, let's take a look at what's the process to buy them manually. So you have to click on the NPC, browse the goods, and then search for the item you want to buy. For example, motes of mana. You have to buy it. But the problem is that the process is very boring. So I tried to find a way with a macro. It worked kinda, if you see. But the problem is that with a macro, there's a limitation on the amount of characters you can use, and the 255 wasn't enough for what I wanted to do with it. So since my background is in software engineering, I tried my way around creating an add-on for this. It shouldn't be very hard for me to do that, and it wasn't. So here comes the MrOcxMoneyMaker. Super quickly, let's take a look at what the add-on is doing in the background. So basically I'm registering an event for Merchant Show and Gossip Show. So the Professor NPC, it has a dialogue that you have to click before you can open the Merchant window. So we have to skip that. This section basically contains the configuration of the items that you want to buy for each NPC. Right now I have a setting for Classic. This NPC is located in Winter Spring, and I want to buy the pattern for Runecloth bag and Runecloth gloves. I haven't yet specified any items for the Darkmoon, and then basically the code is going to, if the NPC is the Professor, we're going to select the Gossip option number 1, which is to open up the merchant view. And then for both NPCs, we are going to iterate over all the items and see if the items are on the list, and if they are, we want to buy that item. So let's take a look at what this looks like in game right now. So if I select the professor NPC and interact with it, basically it opens the dialog straight away, looks for the item. I don't have any item on the list, so it doesn't buy anything, and it closes the window. So basically all you have to do is spam the interact with the target. You can assign a keybind for this, or you can just right click. And as for the Lara NPC, there's no dialogue to interact with, but it still works the same way. If you want to stop the add-on from working, just press and hold the shift key, and then you can search through the pages on both NPCs. So yeah. Now let's add some items that we want to buy, for example, from Professor. Let's say that I want to buy Living Ruby. So the way that you do that, you would go to this section here and then just add Living Ruby. And then if you want other items, just add them on a list. And then I also want to buy Mote of Shadow, for example. Now I'm going to save this, and if we go to the NPC, select, as you can see, it bought the Mote of Shadow and Living Ruby, and then I can just spam this, and it will basically buy when it is available again. So they changed the way that these work. For example, if you go to browse the items, you can see that they aren't available, and you get an error message. But in the classic client and retail client, the rare items, they don't show up here, so you won't have the error message. I'll leave a link to download the add-on, and if you have any questions on how to set up, or if you find any issues with it, just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to reply to you. And also, as you can see in this video, if I play it back, you can see me buying a pattern for a rune cloth bag in the current classic version. So I've tested the add-on, as you can see, MrOcxMoneyMaker buying pattern for the rune cloth bag. I've tested this in classic as well as in retail, and the add-on works on both. So I don't have access to the beta yet, but I'm going to ask someone to test it. But I'm going to assume this will also work in the beta. Cool, that's the end of it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe, as I'm going to be creating more content like this. And hopefully you'll get rich in the Burning Crusade and buy all the epic fly mounts for your alts. Good luck and see you soon. Bye bye.